Right now, another stimulus package is set to be introduced in the Senate. What added payouts for Americans it could include.
Plus, there's a new plan from one of Wisconsin's senators to help address the national shortage of teachers. How a new bill could help keep educators working.
Sun's rising this morning, but dew points will be falling today. I'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, July 27th. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Leah Linscheid is on vacation this week. Good to be back with you again this week.
Yeah, good to see you, too. How was your weekend?
It was good. We had some family in town. They were camping over at Mendota County Park, so nice little social distancing thing going on.
And fun in the sun. It was a hot weekend.
Oh,
boy,
my.
A lot of sweating. A lot of sweating going on. I'm sure a lot of people can sympathize with that one.
Can never shower enough in these types of conditions, that's for sure. But some relief on the way. So that's
great.
Yeah, Hattie will talk about that here in a little bit. But first, we do want to get to an update of breaking news this morning. Right now, residents in Marshall are back in their homes after an overnight gas leak. Now, this happened on West Main Street near the Quick Trip. Police say a car hit a gas line just before 1 this morning. Several streets in the area were evacuated for about an hour and a half, but no injuries were reported. And breaking news just in this half hour, Madison's police union is officially issuing a vote of no confidence for Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway. The union says its decision comes after months of frustration and what they call the absence of effective leadership from the mayor. The MPPOA says 95% of its members supported the vote of no confidence. The police union supported Mayor Rhodes Conway in her 2019 campaign for mayor, but the union says they feel the mayor misled them during the campaign and has since claimed she pushed an us versus them narrative in the community. We have reached out to the mayor's office for her reaction.
And we are hearing this morning from the Dane County District Attorney after protests outside of his home. Ismail Ozan says that protesters stayed outside of his home until 1 in the morning on Sunday, playing music, chanting expletives, and calling him a racist. He says the protesters want him to drop charges against people who were arrested for crimes during protests last month. To their efforts, he says, quote, "Your protest was about you trying to intimidate me into doing my job unless I do it the way you think I should do it. You are not going to be successful." Ozan says, for those committed to justice and wanting to discuss how changes can be made, protesters are welcome to call him.
6:02 right now. We're less than 100 days from the 2020 election, and according to the Pew Research Center, 1 in 10 eligible voters in 2020 belongs to Generation Z. Students like Maya Mekon and Catherine Ackley are hard at work to help keep their peers voting this year. The two hope to register 1,000 students to vote in Madison, part of the national campaign to get 250,000 students ready to vote. The group itself is nonpartisan, not supporting one candidate or particular policy. They say their biggest goal here is giving the younger generation a share of the say.
You can really see, like, through the last few months, the influence that young people have just on turning people out to do things. And I think if we see younger people like having a big passion, something that really generates a passion for a lot of people older than us and younger than us.
Up until last week, the group was focusing on getting people registered to vote online, and now their main push is to get people to request absentee ballots for the upcoming August election. That deadline is August 6th.
Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin teaming up with senators from Minnesota and Illinois to address a teacher shortage. They're proposing the Retaining Educators Takes Added Investment Now, or RETAIN Act. It plans to address shortages of early childhood and K-12 teachers. The shortages disproportionately affect students from low-income backgrounds and students of color. It would create a tax-refundable credit for teachers, mental health providers, and other low-income communities and communities of color. It would also increase as educators become more experienced, which Baldwin says would give incentives for teachers to stay. Lawmakers in Washington are working on another round of stimulus checks. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says Republicans will introduce a bill today that will include another payment of $1,200 for many Americans. The proposal is not expected to continue that $600 a week unemployment benefit incentive. It would include a measure to replace about 70% of a person's paycheck. White House Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow says the package will also include a reemployment bonus, retention bonus, and tax credits for small businesses.
You've probably seen the notices on restaurant doors temporarily closed due to COVID-19. Well, now it looks like a lot of those places could be gone for good. A new economic report from Yelp says 60% of restaurants that temporarily shut down because of the pandemic have since permanently closed. Many small businesses have tried to adapt with online ordering and curbside pickup, but the report says it was not enough to pay the bills. Yelp says as of 2 weeks ago, nearly 16,000 restaurants on its site were out of business. The housing market is reporting an improvement from the month of June. The National Association of Realtors says sales of previously owned homes jumped nearly 21% from May. That is the largest month-over-month increase since tracking began in 1968. But sales are still below where they were before the coronavirus pandemic began. NAR's chief economist says record low mortgage rates are helping buyers through market activity has curbed because of the low inventory at the moment.
Wisconsin adding another 950 confirmed cases of coronavirus to its total. Now just 1,200 away from 50,000 cases. According to data from DHS and county dashboards, 9.6% of new tests came back positive over the past 24 hours. That's up nearly 3% from Saturday. One more person has died of complications from coronavirus, while just under 10,000 of the state's cases remain active.
6:05 right now, and turning to the forecast with meteorologist Hattie McLean with the latest rainfall reports after a very, very wet night across the area, Hads.
Yeah, that rain came down pretty heavy for southern Wisconsin when it finally did arrive. Take a look at some of these numbers. About 1.75 inches in Riley, close to that in Baraboo. As you head down to Madison at the airport, about 1.5 inches of rain there. Little lighter amounts here on the west side, but in Dodgeville, 1.42 inches. And about 3/4 inch in Platteville. And again, all this rain coming in just a couple of hours as the front moved through. Doppler track this morning showing you still some scattered activity across Kansas, parts of northern Missouri, southern Iowa. That front extends then into Michigan, but it has, for the most part, exited the area. No rain left in southern Wisconsin, although we are still seeing some cloud cover lingering back behind this front. High pressure is going to build into the area, and that's going to park itself across Wisconsin for the next several days. So our weather is actually looking pretty quiet going forward. Take a live look outside this morning. Queen Bee Radio sky camera showing you quite a few clouds there. More clouds than clear sky in the Platteville area. A few holes here and there. No issues with fog this morning, although it is still a little hazy and very humid outside. Our temperatures this morning are still in the 70s. 72 in Platteville, 74 in Boscobel. Here in Madison, we're at 72 degrees. North and west of Dane County, though, our temperatures are starting to fall back into the 60s. Dew points are starting to fall as well. We're down to 69. I think when I came in this morning, the dew point was 73 degrees. So good news, going in the right direction. If you look further back to the north and west, take a look at this. Camp Douglas now has fallen to a dew point of 59. As we go through the day today, dew points are going to continue to drop. They'll be down in the lower 60s by this afternoon. Our temperatures will climb today, although it's not going to be as hot as it was yesterday. With those clouds continuing to clear, look for mostly sunny skies this afternoon. High temperatures pretty close to 80 degrees, on a degree or two one side or the other of 80 later on this afternoon. Should feel pretty nice this evening as well as temperatures drop back into the 60s. Your extended forecast looking very quiet. I did add a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm on Tuesday, but other than that, we have a quiet week coming up. We'll be putting our feet up in the weather office. Sunshine, low 80s, but we deserve this nice weather.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and you deserve a bit of a break, too. It's been kind of an active summer so far.
A little bit,
little time off is well
I'll take the quiet weather.
Yeah, thanks, Hattie.
6:08 right now. The American Consulate General in the Chinese city of Chengdu is officially shutting down this morning. The American flag outside the building was lowered at dawn local time as U.S. diplomats prepare to leave. Afterward, they tweeted a farewell message to the consulate saying, quote, "We will miss you forever." China ordered the U.S. to close the site last week after Washington made a similar move, forcing a Chinese consulate in Houston to cease operations. Both sides have accused each other of endangering national security. Agriculture departments in at least 4 states are putting out a warning this morning about packets of seeds from China. They say the seeds are being sent unsolicited and come in packages featuring Chinese characters. Officials warn not to plant the seeds because they may be invasive or harmful. The New York Times reports seed packages have been found in at least 7 states so far. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has not yet responded to requests for comment.
Well, the FDA says more than 600 people have been infected from a parasite linked to bagged salad mixes. You may remember we told you about this recall a few weeks ago. These are tainted bagged salad products produced by Fresh Express Productions. The FDA says there are cyclospora cases from the salad in 11 states now, and 37 people have had to go to the hospital. No deaths are reported. The products were sold in Wisconsin. This list of products is fairly long. You can find it, though, on my Facebook page. Union Center in Juneau County asking people who live there not to drink the water this morning. The village says someone may have tampered with the water reservoir and the water could be contaminated. In a letter on the village's Facebook page, the village president says they'll test the water early next week. Until then, residents can pick up cases of water at the fire station.
6:10 right now. Let's take a look at the roads on a Monday morning. If you're heading out and about right now, looking so far so good. The graphics go. There we go. A little slow on a Monday. There's a look at Madison right now. We do have a few slowdowns coming on Park Street as you approach downtown and also East Washington Avenue. There are your inbound drive times. Looks like you're moving at posted speeds. And also John Nolan Drive looking good at this hour. That's your first one traffic.
6:10 right now. Coming up, we're keeping an eye on the coast of Hawaii this morning as Hurricane Douglas moves across the Pacific.
And scammers are adding on the economic hardships of the pandemic. What schemes you should keep an eye out for when we come back.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues building and bringing stability to families through homeownership. As area families experience hardships, Habitat provides a pathway to financial security and independence. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing? Or
it absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. It's time to find new roads again.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
We're back here at 6:14. Police are investigating a homicide on Madison's west side. Officials responded to a shooting at Schrader Road in Chapel Hill Lane around 9:30 Saturday night. 2 gunshot victims were treated at the scene. One of them later died at a hospital. Police say the other is stable right now. Police did find multiple shell casings at the scene, but they have not identified a suspect and have not reported any arrests in this one. Anyone with information is asked to contact Madison Crime Stoppers.
The Seattle Police Department is releasing new video of alleged attacks on officers during protests over the weekend. The video is edited and does not show what happened before and after these moments when projectiles can be seen thrown at or near officers. It's unclear from the video who is throwing the objects. In a series of tweets, Seattle police say demonstrators threw rocks, bottles, fireworks, and other explosives at officers. The department says at least 59 members of law enforcement have injuries, with one going to the hospital for treatment. Police made almost 50 arrests in Seattle on Saturday night. In Austin, Texas, protesters are holding an overnight vigil mourning one of their own. 28-year-old Brian Foster was shot and killed at a demonstration over the weekend. Austin's police chief says the shooting happened just before 10 o'clock Saturday night. A car turned onto Congress Avenue approaching a crowd of protesters, and that's when police say the crowd surrounded the car. Both the driver and Foster pointed weapons at each other. The driver later turned himself in. Police say he has been released pending further investigation.
6:15, President Trump is approving a disaster declaration for Texas after it was hit by Hurricane Hannah over the weekend. Hannah made landfall Saturday evening as a Category 1 storm, bringing heavy rains and threats of flooding. Disaster declarations are now in effect for 32 counties in Texas. That storm has since been downgraded to a tropical depression and is now making its way across Mexico. Live look off the coast of the Hawaiian Islands this morning. The coast of the islands there, not too far out from where Hurricane Douglas is. Heavy rain and wind battered Maui. The storm is now moving out past the island. Hattie's been keeping an eye on this all morning long now.
Yeah, the Pacific has been pretty active with Hurricane Douglas. It has weakened a little bit, but still a Category 1 storm very close to the island of Kauai this morning. Let's take a look at the most current location of that storm. It is moving to the west-northwest rather quickly, over 15 miles an hour. That's pretty fast for a storm. Through the day today, it is going to continue to move on that west-northwesterly track, and it will continue to weaken as well as it moves over to the colder waters of the Pacific. Not very favorable for development, so that storm weakens as it moves to the west. Still likely to bring heavy rain and very strong winds to portions of those western islands. By contrast, we have much quieter weather, but it still feels just as tropical here this morning. It's very muggy outside. We have some cloud cover in the area, but no rain from the clouds right now. Our temperatures are still, for the most part, in the 70s. A very muggy start to the day today. Your dew points, again, as we go through the day, good news, those dew points will be dropping. Take a look at our weather track. It'll show you where exactly those clouds are. And they're pretty much still back towards the La Crosse area, so we have several hours yet before the clouds really clear. Our temperatures are going to hit highs in the low 80s this afternoon. Northwesterly winds, though, will continue to bring drier air into the region, so again, it will feel more comfortable as we head towards the afternoon. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have just a slight chance for rain in the upcoming forecast. We'll tell you when that occurs and what the rest of the week looks like.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Well, as the coronavirus pandemic hasn't hit consumers hard enough, new data shows a huge spike in COVID-19 related ripoff, scams, and fraud. Consumer Reports reveals ways to spot them, plus protect yourself and your wallet. As the coronavirus swept across the nation this past March, Callie Davidson got a notification on her phone that a purchase was made at a nearby Target. But there was a problem.
I'm like, I'm not at Target.
She immediately confirmed with her bank that her credit card had been compromised.
I couldn't believe that it happened. Maybe it was someone who was reeling from the whole COVID situation.
And Callie's not alone. From bogus cures and treatments to fake websites promising to get you relief money, scammers are finding new ways to take advantage of an already dire situation.
Unfortunately, scammers are very creative, and they come up with all sorts of ways to prey on people in the middle of a pandemic.
In fact, the Federal Trade Commission has recorded over 59,000 coronavirus and stimulus-related complaints, with losses totaling over $74 million. Consumer Reports says to watch out for these coronavirus scams. Although no cures or vaccines have been approved to treat COVID-19, it hasn't stopped fraudsters from trying to sell phony remedies like essential oils, teas, and intravenous vitamin C therapies. Financial scammers are are also saying they can speed up your stimulus payment check. Be wary of any type of robocall or email that uses the term stimulus and ask you to provide personal information like your social security number. And then there are phishing scams from fake websites that may have coronavirus or COVID-19 in their domain names.
People need to be very vigilant against sharing personal information if they did not initiate the contact.
And remember that suspicious charge on Callie Davidson's card? Because she took immediate action, the entire charge was removed without her having to pay a penny. And when it comes to credit card fraud, CR says to sign up for push notifications and check your credit card reports. The big three credit reporting agencies are offering free weekly online reports through next April.
Southwest Airlines says it will not furlough any employees for now. In a memo to the company's 60,000 workers, the company said it would not be furloughing or laying off anyone on October 1st. Restrictions attached to the federal bailout money barred airlines from any furloughs through September. The airline says it's losing $20 million a day right now. 17,000 of its workers have already taken voluntary separation packages and extended time off. Earlier this month, both United Airlines and American Airlines sent warnings of possible furloughs. Meantime, Emirates Airlines says it'll cover customers' medical expenses and quarantine costs if they contract COVID-19 during their trip. The airline will pay medical expenses up to $173,000 and quarantine costs of up to $160 for 14 days if the person tests positive for COVID-19 while they're away from home. The cover will be available to all customers at no extra cost from now until October 31st. It's valid for 31 days from the moment they fly the first leg of their trip.
All right, 6:21 on a Monday morning, and still ahead for us. The pandemic is changing the way we shop, and one hygiene product is way down in sales.
And coming up in our next half hour, a new series of vaccine trials are set to begin today. How companies are making sure they're including disproportionately affected communities.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Baca Enterprises is truly humbled and thankful to all of our employees, residents, families, and vendors for their patience and cooperation.
Our employees have gone above and beyond with sanitation efforts, altering their daily routines, all while spreading joy and happiness throughout our community.
As you look forward to the future, Beaver Dam Assisted Living will be here for you.
To provide a sense of security and to provide comfort by keeping you safe and healthy.
Together, we're moving forward to help you live life with confidence. Call today to schedule your tour.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty. Or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any 2 for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Medical bills, missed time at work, life-changing injuries, household expenses. When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. But we've dedicated our personal injury law firm to help take this crippling burden off your back. Habish, Habish & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Are you one of the 100 million Americans that suffer from chronic pain? Hi there, my name is Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I want you to know about an all-natural product called Cura Relief. With nutrients like boswellia and curcumin, it targets the root of your pain, inflammation. Most people feel a difference in less than 45 minutes. Stop the pain and the drugs naturally with Cura Relief. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com. The Healthy Place.
Seattle's pledge to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Welcome back at 6:24 on a Monday morning. Kevin sent in this photo of fireflies and the comet. Is it Neowise?
Neowise? Yeah, gorgeous. Hattie went out and saw it on Friday night.
I did on Friday, but it didn't look that bright for me. I mean, that's some awesome photography right there.
Yeah, well done.
Pretty
Thanks
cool.
for sending that in. We want to see what you're up to in the morning. Snap a picture, post it on our social media page. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll show our favorite right here on the air.
6:25 right now. Social distancing apparently has fewer people reaching for the deodorant and more people reaching for the ice cream. That's according to the consumer goods company Unilever. It says they're seeing a drop in demand for personal care items. Brands like Dove soap and Axe deodorant say lockdowns have led to a decline in sales. At the same time, ice cream brands such as Breyers, Ben & Jerry's, and Magnum saw a sales increase. Unilever says consumers are eating more soups and utilizing more meal kits and also mayonnaise.
Yeah, this is kind of where we are in society right now, right?
2020.
Yeah.
Wine and ice cream, that's my daily, every night there.
Why not? You're not going anywhere,
You're not
right?
going anywhere.
All right, well, good news today. Dew point is going to be falling through the day, so it's not going to feel as tropical outside. Here's our cute pet walk picture.
Simba.
Simba in Belleville, all snuggled up there. I don't think you need to be snuggled up today. 80 is the high.
All right, Hattie, thank you. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Pull into your driveway in style. Relax by the pool in luxury. And give your front porch the facelift it needs with TSR Concrete Coatings, Wisconsin's premier concrete coatings contractor. Get beautiful concrete coatings installed in as little as 1 day. Customizable and easy to clean. See the before and now the after. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than regular epoxy. They won't chip, crack, or peel. They're impact resistant and UV stable. Now check out these savings. Save 15% on your concrete coating project. Ask about 12 months, same as cash. TSR Nation is growing by the day with satisfied customers throughout Wisconsin, and we want you to be a part of it. As a special bonus, call during this program and receive a free TSR swag pack with your concrete coating project. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
Whether it's your morning cup of coffee or waiting for mom and dad to come home, our windows will provide endless possibilities to your daily routine here at Mad City Windows. Now would be a great time to take advantage of our summer spectacular sale. Get a house full of windows for $29.95. 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. A bonus. Buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed for free. Ask about our virtual online estimate. Call now to get a $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your estimate.
Hercules.
I have been
expecting
you.
Aha! And I brought you a gift so you can fight properly. Red Bull.
Oh!
How nice.
Of you.
But also
rather
stupid.
Mine.
Mine.
No, mine.
No, mine.
Mine.
Mine. Red Bull gives you wings.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah.
New customer? What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
I love that. But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. I'm like sub-level Z of this party and it still works. It's crazy.
Sir, you're going into signal shock, very common with new customers. Just breathe with me, okay? Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
Choose fair.
Picking a plan, we are expecting to learn one school district plans for the upcoming school year today. Coming up, we'll tell you what's not on the table for reopening.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start right away with breaking news this morning.
People in Marshall are now allowed back in their homes after a gas leak prompted an overnight evacuation. That leak happened just before 1 o'clock in the morning on West Main Street near the Quick Trip. Dane County Dispatch tells us this started after a car crashed into a gas line. We're told no one was taken to the hospital and no injuries have been reported.
Well, in today's other headlines, the Verona School Board will meet tonight to take a final vote for reopening plans for the fall. The district met last week but didn't come to a conclusion. We do know students won't be in person for classes for a full 5-day week. The board is considering a virtual plus option for the district. It would give some groups in-person learning opportunities as well. That meeting starts at 7 o'clock tonight.
In just a few hours, a committee with the Milwaukee City Council will hold a special meeting to address federal agents being sent to the city. Mayor Tom Barrett, the city attorney, and the Milwaukee Police Department have all been invited to attend. In a press release, the head of the Public Safety and Health Committee says the decision to send federal agents to Milwaukee is not a welcome one, and communication with local officials was non-existent. The committee hopes for transparency to learn for what this means for Milwaukee. The agents will be coming from the FBI, DEA, and U.S. Marshals Service for Operation Legend. It expands on an existing program which provides agents to help with Milwaukee police investigations. Federal agents were sent originally to Milwaukee in December, but crime has only increased since. Homicides are about 20 or 90% higher right now than they were at this time last year. The Milwaukee Police Department has said they look forward to working with federal agents on joint operations, but respectively decline their assistance for policing protests.
More than 2 months after George Floyd's death, protests continue across the country. Here's new video from Portland, Oregon, where 4,000 protesters showed up for the 59th night in a row. The federal courthouse continues to be a target there, with people throwing fireworks at it. People climbed and banged on the fence separating them from the courthouse, and federal officers met those protesters with tear gas and physical force. Protesters want their message to be clear that Black Lives Matter, and they want the federal agents to get out of town. Protesters in Seattle are now demonstrating in solidarity with those in Portland. New body camera video here released by Seattle police. It's from demonstrations Saturday when officers arrested 47 people. All of them are due in court today. Throughout the day, officers say protesters threw rocks, bottles, and improvised explosives at them. It wasn't one-sided. Officers fired tear gas, rubber-lined bullets, and blast balls at demonstrators. In total, Seattle police say 59 of their officers were hurt. Yesterday's protests remained peaceful. And we do have breaking news into the alert center this morning. Madison's police union has issued a declaration of no confidence in Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway.
Over 95% of the union members supported the vote of no confidence. In a statement, they say the vote is the result of many months of frustration without effective leadership from the mayor. Since endorsing her in March of last year, they say it's become clear Rhodes Conway misled them.
Well, this is also lighting up on our Facebook page this morning as well. The group says they took that vote of no confidence after a meeting with the mayor. They say they asked her to help create opportunities for the police union to meet with community groups who were open to constructive conversations about social justice. They say she declined to help and instead encouraged them to use their own voice to make it happen. Now the union promises they'll foster these relationships without her. We have reached out to the mayor's office for comment, but have not yet heard back.
6:33 right now. We're expecting to learn more this morning about what the next stimulus package could look like and whether you'll get another check from the government. Senate Republicans plan to introduce their proposal today. It'll include another round of $1,200 checks to individuals making less than $75,000 a year. This would exclude roughly 60 million Americans who got the first stimulus check. The proposal isn't expected to have the extra $600 weekly unemployment benefits. Instead, it could have a measure to replace about 70% of your salary. House Democrats proposed their pandemic package back in May. It included a $1,200 check for families, including children, and would include undocumented immigrants. We're less than 100 days out from the 2020 election, but if you plan on voting by mail, you'll want to consider sending your ballot in even sooner. CBS this morning sent out 100 mock ballots to see how long you should give yourself to make sure your vote counts. After 4 days, 21% of ballots hadn't arrived. After a week, 3% still hadn't been delivered. The Postal Service suggests giving every ballot 14 days round trip, which means if you want to vote by mail and feel extra secure it'll be counted, you'll want it to be in the mail by Tuesday, October 20th.
New this morning, the CDC is out with updates to their research on COVID-19. While there's still a lot to learn about how the virus impacts patients in the long term, we now know how many people are dealing with complications for an extended amount of time. 35% of symptomatic adults still didn't feel like they were back to normal up to 3 weeks after testing positive. For people ages 18 to 34 with no pre-existing conditions, 1 in 5 were still sick.
Well, take a look at this morning. We are coming off of a really hot weekend, of course, in Madison, and this bear figured out how to push through the heat. Regina Keller took this video in Virginia and says this huge black bear came into their backyard, dipped its paw in her kiddie pool, and then decided to lounge around in it for a cool nap. She says it stayed there for an hour until the sound of her grandkids and dogs scared it away.
That is a mood this summer.
That is.
That's a 2020 summer mood, especially after all that humidity over the weekend, Hattie.
Yeah, just trying to stay cool, doing whatever you can. Take a look at the high temperatures yesterday. Most spots in the 90s, 93 in Janesville, 92 in Monroe, Platteville topped at 90, Madison topped at 92. The 7th time so far this year we've hit 90 or above. Typically we have 10 days at 90 or above, so this month we're already at 7. Take a look at the view this morning from the WIC-TV sky camera shot. The clouds moving quickly through the area from north to south. We're looking to the east here. A little bit of a clear sky on the horizon, but overall quite a few clouds overhead right now. No issues with fog though, although you may be a little surprised. It's so humid outside this morning, but the clouds are just up from the ground just a little bit. The rain has come to an end for southern Wisconsin, although it continues for parts of Iowa into northern parts of Illinois. But for the Badger State, we are already on the drying trend. The clouds are lagging a little bit behind the rain, though. You can see on our satellite map, you can plot those clouds back into central Wisconsin. Northern Wisconsin, crystal clear right now. These clouds will continue to work their way out of the area. Take a look at our temperatures, and you'll see a big change as you go through the state. 70s here in southern Wisconsin, 72 in Madison, Milwaukee's at 75. 61 in Marshfield, drops down to 58 in Rhinelander. So where skies are clear and that drier air is already in the place, it feels much more comfortable. Dew points tell the story though this morning. Still feeling pretty tropical around here. A 71-degree dew point in Madison does drop to 58 by the time you get to Eau Claire. So we are going to tap into some drier air today. Take a look at our dew point trend. Thank goodness it is going downward through the day, back into the low 60s. Clouds will continue to clear out of the area this morning. So for the afternoon, look for mostly sunny skies. Temperatures should top pretty close to 80 degrees across all of southern Wisconsin. There will be a light northwesterly breeze. Heading into this evening, temperatures will be dropping into the 60s by 10 p.m. Overnight low is 60. Then for tomorrow, just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly during the afternoon or evening. But otherwise, take a look at this forecast. It's looking pretty darn nice with low 80s, lots of sunshine, and very quiet weather right through the week into the upcoming weekend.
Yeah, Hattie, there is a lot of sun and warm temperatures in the forecast.
Looking forward to that.
Not too hot, though.
Can actually deal with it for once.
Yeah, it's going to feel great. A lot of good pool weather, too.
Yeah, for sure. For many families, that means it is time to hit the pool or play outside. And in this week's Time for Kids segment, Amanda Quintana has advice from doctors about making sure your skin is protected.
The next few days look like they'll be perfect to get out and enjoy the lakes or just have a picnic with the little ones, but doctors want to remind you to remember to take care of your skin and your kids. A lot of the sun damage that can lead to cancer happens when you're young. The Skin Cancer Foundation says even one blistering sunburn during childhood can more than double a person's chance of developing melanoma later in life. So teaching children about the importance of applying and reapplying sunscreen is a lesson you want to show them early.
I think the kids, they get used to it. I mean, at first they don't like that, they have to get out of the pool and dry off and put more sunscreen on. But, I mean, it's better than experiencing a burn and being in, pain because of that.
Reynolds says for babies under 6 months, they shouldn't be using sunscreen. So keep them in the shade, in a hat, or under an umbrella. For other kids, look for sunscreen SPF 30 and above. But as we all know, sunburn can and do happen. To treat them at home, make sure to moisturize with lotion or aloe. And if the burns blister, be gentle and don't pop them. If they have liquid that's not clear or your child develops a fever, that's when it's time to call a doctor.
Amanda Quintana. Amanda, thank you. Developing right now, North Korean officials are trying to figure out what to do this morning after police said a man allegedly brought coronavirus into the country while avoiding arrest. South Korean police say the man crossed into the north illegally about a week ago. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un called an emergency weekend meeting to deal with the possible spread of the virus. This is the first reported case of the virus in the north. The man is being investigated in connection with a sex crime.
Within the last half hour, the world's biggest COVID-19 vaccine study has begun, and researchers are trying to do things differently this time around. Unethical research abuses to Black and brown communities have created a deep distrust of healthcare workers. The Washington Post reports that mistrust, on top of unequal access to health care, means Black folks are underrepresented in research trials. We now know Black people are being disproportionately impacted by COVID-19, so this time around, researchers are working to make sure they're a big part of the clinical tests. This includes communicating respectfully and using inclusive marketing techniques. President Trump will visit North Carolina today to visit a lab where researchers are working on a COVID-19 vaccine. Two separate organizations are sharing a $1.6 billion federal contract to come up with a vaccine. Vice President Mike Pence will be in Florida. He'll be joining the coronavirus task force for a roundtable discussion with researchers from the University of Miami to discuss vaccine efforts there.
6:41 and a check of your traffic on a Monday morning. If you're heading out across Dane County right now, we are seeing a little bit more traffic volume around Park Street, West Wash, East Washington looking a little bit better this half hour in Dane County as we take a look at Rock County right now. No crashes or major incidents to speak of there as well. There are your drive times, everything in the green on this Monday. Let's take a live look outside. Just about 6:42 right now. Beautiful start out there. We've got an even more perfect forecast on the way. If you want some relief from that humidity, Hattie will have all of the good news when we come back.
This summer, get back to where you belong, along 60 miles of beautiful wide open beaches, where family vacations have never been so much fun. With every sunrise and each high tide, the beach is calling you to raise your spirits, make you smile, and bring your family closer together. So stop dreaming and start booking, because we can't wait for you to get here. Visit Myrtle Beach and discover why happiness comes in waves.
Let's summer. Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods.
When managing diabetes, you can't always stop for a finger stick. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you don't have to. With a painless 1-second scan, you can check your glucose with a smartphone or reader, so you can stay in the moment, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Ask your doctor for a prescription for the Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Stop into Rubens today for our annual Made in America sale. Our manufacturers have given Rubens generous discounts on all furniture made in America. Choose from beautiful sofas, chairs, and sectionals for your home. Soft leather in hundreds of colors are yours for the choosing. Solid maple, cherry, and other gorgeous bedroom pieces are also on sale. Remember, our manufacturers have given Rubens generous discounts on all furniture made in America. Hurry in today for Rubens Made in America sale on now.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Trust us to get it right. These storms are capable of producing some heavy rain and maybe some hail.
To keep you prepared.
When severe weather is on the way. We have an alert day in the forecast for this evening for strong to possibly severe thunderstorms, hail, high winds, perhaps even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out.
And your family's safety is on the line. You need to seek shelter immediately.
Our team and technology are ready to help you stay safe.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team on News 3 Now.
All right, we're back 6:45. So last week we told you that Blue Moon is Wisconsin's most Googled ice cream flavor. This week we are talking about food delivery by state.
Yeah, more people are staying in and ordering out. So Uber Eats is taking a look at what people are craving right now. In Illinois, people are keeping it bland. The most popular request there for online orders is plain.
Hot dog, plain.
Just plain hot dog.
Just a hot dog in a bun.
Yep. Minnesotans, meanwhile, they're turning up the heat a little bit, but not all the way. Their top request is for medium spicy. And this one shouldn't come as a surprise for Wisconsinites. The state's top request is for extra queso.
Extra queso.
All the cheese. Another thing to note here in Delaware, the most popular request was for no cucumber.
No cucumber.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So we found out this morning that you like extra condiments.
Yes.
You just don't like stuff dry. You want...
So we did steak and eggs over the fire yesterday morning. We did like a brunch because my family was camping at Mendota County Park, and they always make fun of my family in general, like my mom, my dad, my sister. We always use a lot of condiments. So it's, would you like a little steak with your ketchup? You know, it's like,
oh, ketchup on steak. I don't know about that.
Steak.
I do. I know. And my uncle, like, the bad thing is he does beef cattle, so he like cringes. He's like, you don't need, with a good steak, you don't need any condiments. You know.
That's funny. What about you?
My kids would ask, could we get a side of ranch?
Ranch.
Yeah, anything.
Never enough ranch, right?
Do you have like the big, massive jug?
No, I don't. On purpose, though, because that would just give them free reign.
Oh, sure.
That's true.
It would be out of control.
Yeah, it is tough ordering for little kids. They all want something different, and to keep all of them straight in every little, they're so particular about every little thing, and if I screw it, I catch a lot of flack if I mess it up.
Come on, Dad, you're supposed to know these things.
Dad, I said no mustard on my hamburger.
So you're like, just wipe it off. No mustard now.
Just be happy I'm giving you food.
Or you just eat it when they don't.
Very true. Well, now I'm hungry. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the tropics. Certainly feels pretty tropical outside this morning, but we're not dealing with this. Take a look at Hawaii. This is Hurricane Douglas, still a Category 1 storm. It is right near the island of Kauai. Again, Category 1, but it is moving very quickly this morning to the west-northwest at 16 miles an hour. Heavy rain, strong winds, though, are still expected, even though this hurricane is not making landfall. It will move pretty quickly, though, as I mentioned, and weaken as it gets further out into the Pacific. The water is colder and not so favorable for hurricanes. Here are current conditions. I mentioned it's feeling tropical this morning. Our relative humidity is 97%. Dew point still 71 here in Madison, waiting for those numbers to go down. Believe it or not, it's actually cooler this morning in most spots by about 5 to almost 10 degrees cooler. To the north, it is significantly cooler, where temperatures are in the 50s right now. Black River Falls is at 58, 68 in the Dells, and 72 here in Madison. While our temperatures head up into the low 80s today, dew points will be falling, so it'll feel more comfortable this afternoon. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about that temperature trend as we head through the rest of the week.
Thanks, Addie. The morning sprint is coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere.
But first, it is July 27th, and we want to say happy birthday to Thea, Grayson, and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
You ever seen damage just disappear? Well, you're in luck. Act now. Mako is offering their best price guarantee. Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Now I get to make a difference in people's lives the way that the nurses that took care of my grandma made a difference in her life.
Now is the time to change your life. Herzing University makes it possible without leaving home. Herzing offers dozens of online degrees in nursing, healthcare, IT, and business. Start studying online and take the first step toward a new career.
I'm an ICU nurse.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. Home is where heads come to rest. A place to let go, and a place to find again. At Stanley Steamer, we love home, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
I'm here. Auntie's here. Hey, Mom and Dad here.
Shall we begin?
Together, nothing can keep us apart. That's why U.S. Cellular is building powerful 5G coverage that works inside and out. And now, get $700 off the latest phones. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Cross something important off your list. Free installation on all windows, siding, and doors. And no interest for 1 year. The biggest sale of the year is here.
Free installation ends Friday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You ever seen damage just disappear? Well, you're in luck. Act now. Mako is offering their best price guarantee. Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
6:52, time for the morning sprint.
We start with an update to breaking news this morning. Residents in Marshall are now being allowed back in their homes after a gas leak prompted an evacuation overnight. The leak happened just before 1 in the morning on West Main Street near the Quick Trip. Dane County Dispatch tells us it started after a car crashed into a gas line in the area. We're told no one was taken to the hospital and no injuries have been reported.
Wisconsin getting awful close to 50,000 confirmed coronavirus cases. We are just under 49,000 right now. Data from DHS and County Dashboard showed just under 10% of new tests came back positive yesterday. That is nearly 3% higher than it was Saturday. We're still seeing an upward trend in the percentage of positive cases, as you see on your screen. About 10,000 cases are still active.
This morning, Green Bay's mask mandate is now in effect. It applies to anyone 5 or older to wear masks in buildings accessible to the public. This includes bars, restaurants, grocery stores, and public transportation. Churches are exempt, and wearing a mask while exercising at the gym won't be required. People who don't comply could be fined for trespassing.
Well, the next time you shop at Hy-Vee, workers there will be offering you a free mask. The store isn't specifically requiring that you wear one, but they're just going to put some employees at the doors and offer free ones to anyone who doesn't have one. In breaking news, into the newsroom in the last half hour. If you plan on going to Washington, D.C. anytime soon, you will have to quarantine first. The mayor there says people from Wisconsin and 26 other states will be required to self-quarantine for 2 weeks after getting to D.C. This goes into effect today. It also includes people returning to D.C. from high-risk states. This will last until at least August 10th, when the district will update its list.
The Verona School Board will meet tonight to take a final vote on reopening plans for the fall. The district met last week but didn't come to a conclusion. We do know students won't be in person for classes for a full 5-day week. The board is also considering a virtual plus option for the district. This would give some students and some groups in-person learning opportunities as well. That meeting starts tonight at 7.
Senate Republicans plan to introduce their stimulus package proposal today. It would include another round of $1,200 checks to individuals who make less than $75,000 a year. This would exclude roughly 60 million Americans who got the first stimulus check. The proposal isn't expected to have the extra $600 weekly unemployment payments, though. Instead, it could have a measure to replace about 70% of your salary.
You're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, where the late Representative John Lewis will lie in state today and tomorrow. His casket will be brought to Atlanta's state capitol on Wednesday, and a funeral will be held on Thursday at Ebenezer Baptist Church. A horse-drawn carriage brought Lewis's casket across the Edmond Pettis Bridge in Selma, Alabama yesterday. It was there back in 1965 that state troopers beat Lewis and other peaceful protesters as they tried to march to Montgomery.
Today marks 20 years since a Columbia County man murdered his wife. Dan Coots is serving a life sentence for killing his wife, Beth, but still hasn't said where he put her body. Now the Columbia County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to find her. The department says they followed up on possible leads from this summer and will continue to look for her remains.
Breaking overnight, a U.S. consulate in southwestern China is now officially closed. China ordered the U.S. to shut it down in retaliation for a U.S. order to close a Chinese consulate in Houston. A statement from the State Department says the consulate had been there for 35 years and the decision is disappointing.
We are less than 100 days now from the November election. If you plan on voting by mail, you'll want to consider sending your ballot in even sooner. The Postal Service suggests giving your ballot 14 days for a round trip, which means if you want to vote by mail and you feel you want some extra security that it'll be counted, you'll need to put that ballot in the mail by Tuesday, October 20th.
Well, hopefully in October it'll be feeling a little bit cooler outside. Not bad this week, though, as temperatures hold pretty close to normal. All week we'll be hitting highs in the low 80s. Here's a look at Weather Track. The rain has come to an end. Clouds, though, lagging a little bit behind that front. They'll clear as we go through the morning. Dew points are still very high, but they'll be dropping through the day as well.
Make it a great day.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty. Or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
Everything is relative. Travel, for example. A trip to Stoughton might seem like a long way, but if you're shopping for diamonds, it's closer than you think.
Diamond Select.
Importers of shimmering diamonds from the mines of South Africa to the streets of Antwerp and Tel Aviv. They shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to.
Diamond Select. Direct pricing saves you money.
On GIA certified South African diamonds.